So Keya, welcome.
Thank you.
Back home, you didn't grow up around ovens. You move here, suddenly you have an oven.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
So I didn't realize it was an oven. So in Indian culture, we don't bake very much. So I'd never seen one because of that. My husband, fiance at the time, had stored cereal boxes in there. So I thought it was just another cabinet with some knobs on it. And he's like, no, dummy, that's an oven. And I'm like, oh. So that was a pretty mind-blowing discovery. Yeah.
What do you remember the first thing you actually baked?
Oh, good question. I think it was like a messed up pan of brownies or something. It did not resemble a brownie in any way.
Have you ever gone back? Do you still bake brownies to this day?
Very much.
Yeah.
They do not look messed up anymore. only marginally.
Yeah. Awesome. And you said your roots are Indian, but your training is Virginian. When did your food start to sound like both at once?
Oh, I love this question. I say that because growing up, I had never had any. I was not a cook, right? I was not a chef. I didn't worry about making food. I was pretty well taken care of in our household. But after I moved here, the baking bug bit me. And given that I was living in Virginia, all my influences about techniques and training happened here. But because I'm Indian, I was constantly kind of weaving in and out of both the cultures, and somehow they just kind of came together at some point.
Awesome. So have you ever felt pressure to make your food feel more American?
Yes, I think every chef, whether you are biracial or whatnot, or dual cultured or whatnot, feels that pinch, right, to fit in somehow, somewhere. But I've always been a bit of an oddball, and I never cared to fit into anything. I just wanted to make what I wanted to make and see if people would enjoy it.
So you say you're a bit of an oddball. Where does that come from? Is that just like how you always were? Were you like the black sheep of the family, or is like, oh, Keya's climbing a tree or doing something crazy, or how? Where did that come from?
I'm definitely the black sheep of the family. My whole family, very intelligent, all doctors and IT and lawyers, and somehow I became a chef amongst all that. So clearly, have always stood out in some way or the other, and never been shy of it or afraid of it.
Does that show up in your food at all?
I think so. Yeah. I think it shows up in everything I do. Feel. Yeah. I can't help it.
Yeah. I love your branding, by the way, and your Bombay chips. Obviously, I wouldn't call it oddball, but I would call it, very striking, and someone that is, my whole life essentially is branding. I'm a huge proponent of having assets that stick out while telling your story immediately. And you look at that, it's boom, boom, boom. You know exactly what it is. It sticks out. You want to grab it, or at least you want to pick it up off the shelf.
Definitely.
And I always say this, like, I don't want to make this a CPG podcast, but going down the aisle, just as well as anybody that you only have 0.2 seconds to pick something up.
Correct.
I call it the lizard brain, oh, what's that? That's the first step. So what's that? When I see this in Elwood's, when I see this in Kroger, immediately I know your brand, I know what it is, but it's still, even when I know what it is, I still, what's that? Oh yeah, I know what those are. So amazing job on the branding.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm a huge branding nerd, and you really nailed it with just like the typeface, the color usage, the face up front, and just like the hierarchy of information. Like, I can geek out on this like all day. So I love it. It's really great.
Thank you.
And then I guess, I'm just going to follow this thread a little bit. Do you see a resurgence or kind of a rise in Indian food and snacks in the CPG world?
Yeah, I think there's a massive tipping point coming for Indian cuisine, the same one that came for Mexican cuisine decades ago, Thai cuisine, whatnot. We're on the verge of that. And given how many Indians there are in the U.S., especially the population is large, we have not seen that mix of Indian American snacks, right? I mean, if you go to a grocery store and we go to the frozen section, it's filled with Indian food, but that magic has not made itself visible in the snack aisle. So I think we're on the verge of it. Yeah.
What do you think is one of the most common misperceptions with Indian food in America?
I think A, that it's spicy,
Mm-hmm.
that it's too hot to eat, and B, it's too complex to approach.
Mm-hmm. And when you say complex to approach, is that from like cooking it or just eating it? Because just me anecdotally, I love Indian food, but I think I am massively intimidated by creating those flavor profiles.
There you go.
That's the biggest thing. So I don't even want to try it because I know I can just go somewhere locally and get it better and just rather support a local business versus trying to attempt to cook it myself.
No, that's all fair. And I mean, when I say complex, it's on both levels. It's on cooking level and kind of tasting level. People think, oh, this might be too much for me to like. It's got too many spices. It might be too spicy. Has too many different sensory things going on. So people tend to kind of have caution when they try that. But we're trying to break those walls down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering also too, like, where does that come from? Like, where does the existing perceptions come from? Is it a restaurant? Is it a TV show? Like, where is the cultural zeitgeist of this is my perception of Indian food and Indian cuisine? Like, where does that come from? What is the common experience the average American has with Indian food and Indian snacks? Like, where is it coming from?
I think it's all of the above, and also the communities we live in, right? Majority of the Indians that even in my own family, right, they are engineers, they're doctors, they're not necessarily chefs, they're not opening restaurants, they're not making food to feed the immediate community. So that pilferation has not happened. So somewhere historically, it kind of got left behind a little bit in that sense. Just not enough people are doing what I'm doing. That introduction has not taken place.
And I wonder too, like, if there's aspects of one of the things that I always feel every single Indian restaurant that I go into, I immediately feel family. Like, there's a heavy family vibe.
Very much.
Not just like the people working behind the counter, but also it's almost like a community hub. Like, it's everybody and anyone that week is going to be in there, and you can tell like that is either a meeting place for Indian families to go to, or that's just where they're eating at. So I'm wondering, like, is that portion of the food missing to Americans? Because you walk in there, you get kind of transported, and I love it. I love the vibe. People are like, oh, like, yelling, and we used to live, me and my wife, we used to live up in Annandale, and we were right next to Taste of India, and it was like to this day, one of the best. And I just loved going in there. It was so energizing. People were yelling. When you get up front, you better have your order ready, your name, because they don't play around. No. They're just like,
you're gonna miss your food.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, hurry up, like,
better get on it.
So I love that energy so much. But you can feel that vibration, and I'm wondering if there is for one, do you feel some part of that in your snacks? And do you feel almost like, is that an aspect of Indian food that you want to pass off? Is that energy, that community?
I mean, first of all, you're kind of describing my living room growing up. So but we better be ready. When the food is ready, you better show up. And my mom was always yelling. The maid, there's always some yelling going on at some point because we were not behaving. Indian flavors are very loud. And I say that in a nice way. They're very flavorful. They're complex. They're layered. They're all those things. So I want the flavors to speak in that sense. Not like, I don't want to be yelling myself, but I want my food to be yelling from the rooftops. Like, look at how much flavor you can have in a basic snack like a potato chip. That's how I want to carry it forward.
That's awesome. And just thinking through, this is just a sidebar, but like, you think of, for me, American food, I would think barbecue. Korean food, I would think kimchi. Chinese food, I would think hand-cut noodles. When it comes to Indian food, what do you think is the number one thing that pops into people's mind?
Chicken tikka masala.
Chicken tikka masala.
Or butter chicken. Yeah, 100%. Both those things are some kind of naan.
Yeah.
Because that's what you see in every restaurant.
Yeah.
And all that food is just a tip of the iceberg of what Indian food is.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Like, for me, I almost never order the chicken tikka masala.
Thank you.
Yeah, I never order it. My go-to is just chana masala and some bread. That's me. Extra hot chana masala.
All right.
Some bread. and that's it. Like I'm good. I'm good. That's my go-to Indian meal.
Got it.
It's like my favorite, especially when it's cold out. Warms me up. I love the spices. I love the flavor. But I never once would ever try to attempt to cook it
No,
because
it fills your
I just
soul.
know
It
it's
fills your soul. No, but you do have to try it. I actually have a recipe out on one of the blogs on I think it's on one of the Bon Appetit blogs.
Yeah.
For chana masala.
Yeah.
I want you to attempt it.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try.
Let's work on this. Yeah.
I'll try. Yeah, I love cook. I have a bunch of cookbooks, but
Yeah.
Indian cuisine is the one I haven't tried, just because it's a respect factor and it's also a time factor because it's very intimidating and I would rather just have a good meal rather than messing it up.
Fair.
So I need like an easy
Completely
mode
fair.
start.
Gotcha.
I need an easy mode start. You mentioned blog, you mentioned recipe. I don't know. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but is there a book coming?
I've been working on a book for a very long
Yeah.
time. It is in my head.
Yeah.
There's some of it on paper.
Yeah.
I don't have a deal or anything right now, but it very much is one of my passion projects.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time. I mean, especially with, this would be a great addition to your like portfolio is just having a book. And I can already see the colors. I can already see the cookbook. It's almost like, what's her name? More is more. I forgot. I have her cookbook. She has, what's her name? It's totally blanking. She just came out with that line of sauces. She used to work
Indian?
What's her name?
Indian lady?
No. She's a white lady and
yeah.
what's her name?
The AO sauce. The
yes, she just came out with that.
Yeah,
What's her
Molly
name?
Baz.
Molly Baz. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that book so much. More is
so
more.
good.
It's like one of my favorite books. I go
Yeah.
back to that all the time.
She's awesome.
Like one of my favorite meals came from there, which is the crazy dip that she has. It's just like brine and it's just like a really ton of brine, capers. And a bunch of cheese, and it's like the craziest dip ever. And you tell people what it is, and you're just like, oh no,
What?
feta and brine and capers. No, but you taste it. We
so
literally
good.
call it crack dip
Magic.
because it's crazy. Yeah.
Magic.
So, kind of switching gears to go into the chips. During COVID, you were selling the Indian American to go and added the chips on the side. When did you notice people start caring about the chips more?
A week later.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I know. You know how when everything shut down in March?
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks after everything shut down, we started making the to-go meals. And a week after that is when we got our first phone call. Hey, can we order the chips? And I'm like, you have the wrong number. Like, what chips do you want, sir? He's like, the things in the little brown bags. You gave me like 4 chips. And he's like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I need more of those. I'm like, oh, the little side stuff? Like, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
It was pretty funny.
And when did that start, when did that start coming into the market? Because I remember when I first moved down to Richmond, I saw them, I saw them in the clear bag.
The clear bag,
We
yep.
went to Perk.
Yeah.
It's our local spot we always go to. Great.
Love
Shout out to Perk.
Absolutely.
And they were actually one of the first vendors for us. So shout out to Perk for
love that.
Jane Chili Crunch.
Yeah.
So it was awesome there. But
chili crunch is on point though.
yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I saw them and then they disappeared. What was that moment? Was that you just kind of, was the clear bags like testing the market or what was that? Because it almost seemed like you had them out there, you were testing your MVP and then you kind of like went into hibernation.
Yeah.
And I was like, when are the chips coming
where are
back?
we at?
And then obviously explode like, okay, she had a plan. She had a plan.
No, listen, I've had no plan ever going into this. Everything has been pretty accidental. I've been thrown into the world of CPG without me asking for it. We made those clear bags. We were just holding on for dear life, right? Like we were still dealing with COVID. I had a lot of personal setbacks, dealing with a lot of life happening to me. So we were making the clear bags and just trying to keep up. We could not keep up. We could not provide a constant stream of supply. And it got to a point where we're like, okay, we cannot keep doing this. We need to hunker down, figure out how we can take this to market in a more serious way and get to a scaling model. And that's when this took place. So we kind of switched it. We kept providing the clear bags up until like the last day in January of this year, and then just switched it out.
Yeah, I remember seeing it like happen. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, where did it go? And then
Boom.
bam, kicked down the door. I was like, I'm here. So just curious, like did you approach retailers, or how did that start happening? Did it start, because now it seems I can't keep up. It's like it's awesome. The momentum is just amazing. But like, when did it first start, like with your approach to retailers, and did they start calling, or did you like actively reach out?
So originally when we were doing the clear bags, they called us, right? Like, we've been hearing about these chips that local people are talking about. Can we get some on our shelves? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. What do you mean? So again, very like steep learning curve, learn how to package it overnight, deliver it, make it shelf stable. Because we were still hand producing all of that, everything at that point. And that just, we grew to 12 retailers for 4 years. We stuck to those 12. I didn't go to any more retailers because I could not make product. And then January, we switched it out with those 12. And then from there on, we either kept getting calls or we kept going out for sales, and just kind of a mixture of both.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you stuck with the core 12.
Yes.
And I know with CPG, the God everyone prays to is the God of velocity.
100%.
So how was that during that time? Were you getting people beating down your door? Like you had to like swap them away? Like how were you handling that and having to be like, no?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that crazy, right? When we were hand producing them, it wasn't like I was getting a call from retailers every month or every week. It wasn't. There was no insane demand in that sense, but there was enough reorders taking place in the 12 stores we were in. To me, that's a better indicator than getting 500 stores, right? That was way better. And we were respecting that velocity and keeping on providing, and did not take on any more so that we could continue to provide the 12 we were in. That's kind of how that happened.
That's really smart, because a lot of people in the CPG space, they want to chase more doors, more doors, but then you look, are you actually growing? Because what's the velocity on that? What's the repeat orders? Are you repeating consistently? And one thing I think is really great is that being in those 12 stores, it was almost like your lab. Because one thing I love that you do that I don't see a lot of other CPG brands, and me, my background, I come from Amazon, and our whole ethos is working back directly from the customer.
Yes.
And so you are huge about that with, putting on which one do you like? And that automatically prompts a customer to like essentially give you feedback of like, why did you like that one? And you probably are getting anecdotes left and right. Oh, I like this one better because X, Y, Z. Constantly. And you're prompting that, as opposed to like, what'd you think? And it's like, oh, I don't know. But you're kind of forcing them to choose between the two. And that prompts that natural conversation, which I thought is so smart, because you're just constantly learning, constantly getting that data. So with that, and I think it's really smart because your booth, like you're doing your tasting samples, having that sign here, it automatically wants to be like, oh, what's going on?
What should I vote for? Yeah. What's going on? And then they like stand there for a minute and go, what should I vote for?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You can vote for both, and I won't tell anybody. Our secret.
I love that.
It's a free country, but vote for both.
I love that.
But speaking of voting today, vote today. But yeah, no, I'm a very because I'm a chef and I'm an Indian mom. Okay, it's very serious. Like I'm a big feeder. I want to feed people, and I want to feed people what they enjoy, not just a blind like, okay, here's some chips, eat them. So I want to know what they're enjoying, and truly respect that relationship.
And I think a lot of other CPG brands, they miss that component. Like you got to be on the ground, you got to be talking to people. Absolutely. You can't shy away from it, and you can't take it personal either. You kind of have to like put it on your sleeve, like. Correct. This is your baby, yes, but sometimes baby's a little ugly, and maybe baby just needs a haircut. And it's like, oh, baby looks cuter now, So exactly. I love that. And I was just also thinking, do you do the same thing online where you elicit feedback? Is there any like fun games that you do to kind of like almost like gamify like the feedback process there online?
No, nothing online, because this product is not primed to sell online. We do have an online site where you can buy it, and we ship it nationwide. But chips, people don't have the habit of ordering potato chips on a website in a larger volume. So the website is there for the sake of vanity, for the sake of access, so that anybody can buy it, because the shipping cost is higher. It's a volume product. So online, we have not shifted our focus to that so much. We're focusing everything to retail and in person right now, but eventually I definitely want to explore that.
Nice. Yeah, I learned very quickly, like you better be selling one at a time is great. But essentially it's just like a giant, especially with Amazon, it's just like a giant trial, you know, like, do you want to try one and you have to package it? You have to do
There's no
36
direction.
or, you know,
Correct. Yeah.
29. And then it's like, is that a great experience for somebody, you know?
Yeah, you don't
like,
want to force them into
yeah.
buying 12 bags.
And nobody, yeah. I mean, I would like to, that would be
Sure,
nice, you
sure.
know?
Yeah, money's nice,
definitely
yeah.
order, you know?
Same is nice.
I love that. So yeah, just thinking through when you had your 12 stores, what was the moment where you're like, okay, we're ready to go?
I'm still waiting to get that moment.
Yeah.
I don't
Really?
think-
I mean, it looks like it. I mean, you can't keep up.
I mean, I don't think there was ever a moment like that. It took us almost 3 years to recreate the spice blend that's on the chips right now.
Yeah.
Because when you're making a half a pound of Bombay spice blend in your kitchen, easy peasy. Now when you have to scale up to 2,000 pounds, now that's a whole different ballgame. And having to titrate that and get to a place where we were happy with the flavor took 3 years. What's going on is we're buying single origin organic spices directly from the farmers in India. And the problem there is there are 29 spices on the Bombay blend. Each spice is volatile depending on the crop, the water, the season, the year. So to bring all that together without any kind of bridge of a preservative or filler, fiber, dyes, whatnot, that was a hard challenge. But we persevered and we kind of came through. So that took a while. And then when I thought I was ready with the product, we just went for it. Yeah.
Nice. When you work with these farmers, is it you order individual spices, or have you worked with somebody like, hey, can you package all of them for me as like one? Or I mean, that's a lot of variables.
Yes.
With that.
No,
So,
we buy the spices individually.
okay.
We then dry it, grind it, and make our blend. It all happens in one place, but the spices are bought individually. Yeah.
And now it seems like I mean, I don't know why you think it's not there, because it's definitely there. But like
No, of course.
with the momentum,
Yeah.
like, are you taking time to kind of step back and just like see the momentum that you're on? And like, how do you feel now with like,
Right.
with the amount of traveling and the amount of hustle you're putting in? Like, are you taking a step back and like being
Right.
like, damn, this is crazy?
I wish I was level-headed enough to step back and appreciate. I think I'll always be not unhappy, but always keep pursuing and making sure that I'm staying on top of it. I've been told that I should step back and appreciate how much work has gone into it so far. But like I said, I'm a bit of an oddball. I'm going to continue. I'm never going to be 100% happy with anything. I'm
Yeah.
going to continue to iterate and iterate and iterate. Yeah.
Love that. So kind of switching gears a little bit. So you were competing on national television while pregnant. What did that pressure feel like in that moment?
Oh, it was so bad. It's a lot, right? And the thing is with Food Network, this is a national show. You're competing with some very serious chefs, right? The first year I remember I walked in the green room and I'm like, oh, okay, I see why they brought me on, because somebody has to go first, like somebody eliminated first. So I really thought that was a role I was playing there, because these are like serious French chefs, and just the competition was insane. And because I was pregnant, I could not run around the set like they were running around the set. And I also thought that because it's TV, they say 45 minutes for a challenge. Surely the actual challenge is not going to be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
They're going to give you extra time. Oh no, it's 45 minutes, period.
Wow.
So it was, the time aspect was very challenging.
And I always like to think about like entrepreneurs and small business owners and, just people in general. When you go through these moments that are super tough and super hard, that raises, when you look back, you're like, okay, that was hard.
Yeah.
But now looking back, you're like, okay, my level of being able to handle that is way higher. Did that experience kind of raise your level of being able to handle?
Yeah, I think it kind of taught me a little bit more about myself, and how much I'm able to handle, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And specifically during the taping, was there a moment where you're like, I don't know if I can do this?
Oh my God. So, okay, episode 5, I dropped a cake.
Yeah.
Full blown. It was like, that was the first ads they put out of the show were me dropping the cake. I'm like, great. Thanks so much. Literally, I dropped the cake. I was in tears the whole time. I don't know how they edited the tears out, but I was crying the whole time.
I love that.
I was like, I can't do this. I'm done. I'm tired. But then I remember our first meeting with our executive producer. She gave me some advice that I'll never forget. And she's like, this this show is 100% a marathon, and by episode 4, 5, 6, you're going to be so exhausted that you cannot go on anymore. And she was right. She was exactly right. And she's like, that's when it changes, and that's when you have to like dig so deep. And she's exactly right. Yeah.
Were you even aware, like, were you just so heads down on the competition? Like, how was it with the filming, with the like dealing with cameras, like production? Obviously these cameras here, but it's probably nowhere near the level of like a TV production. Was that a little jarring to deal with?
No, not really. I've always been a bit of a stage baby my whole life. I danced when I was younger. I like thrived on like I've never had stage fear. And in Food Network, like they put like 5 cameramen on you.
Wow.
Because they record every
5?
Yes.
Wow.
You're always knocking into them. You're always hitting them with a hot pan. It was pretty intense. There were there's so much camera around you. And the producers are watching every single move. Like if you put something under the shelf, they're like, what is that? What is that? So they record, like you breathe differently and they know about it. Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know if I'll be able to handle that. I'd probably freeze, and just like anybody that I think being on TV and doing stand up, I think those are like the two, I think the hardest things you can do.
Stand up is very hard.
Stand up. What, have you done stand up?
My husband has.
Oh, really? Okay.
For 10 years.
10 years? Nice. Okay.
Yeah. He's big. He was big. He toured the whole country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He worked with Charlie Murphy's brother, Eddie Murphy's brother, Charlie Murphy.
Oh, my goodness. Nice. R.I.P.
Opening for them. Yeah. But I bet you could do it.
Yeah. Nah, maybe under.
I bet you'd rise to the occasion.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I've also wanted to talk about, you said that your mission is to desegregate the way that we eat. What does that actually look like in real life?
So the perfect example for that would be my daughter, right? I married a white guy, and our daughter is biracial. And to me, I want a world where she's eating food, not just mom's food or dad's food, right? Not American food or Indian food, just food. In our household, whenever we make anything, it's made with both those cultures intertwined. I don't think she's had any basic pasta with tomato sauce. There's always, some cumin in there or some curry leaves here or some whatever. So she has never known a world where anything is quote unquote basic. It has always been a hybrid version of her surroundings. And I feel like American families are now constantly blended, right? There are multiple cultures that live under the same roof. That is a new reality. So we're answering to that. We're creating meals that support the household, not just a particular culture.
I love that. Creating meals that support the household.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So does she ever report back? I don't know, how old she is, but if she's doing like going over a friend's house, is she like, Kelsey, we say spaghetti and she's like, this is it?
Well, she's 6 years old.
Yeah.
No, she's only 6 years old, so we haven't gotten to the point yet. But sadly, or maybe it's a phase, but she really only likes the quote unquote basic food.
Yeah.
She does not want anything put into her food. She wants a simple old mac and cheese and the fried chicken and or like chicken nuggets. She's a classic kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dream, is for my daughter. Like, she's growing up, she's eating pho, she's eating kimchi,
absolutely.
She's eating, everything and anything, natto, she's eating everything. And then she'll probably be like, I don't want that. I just want chicken tenders. Yes. So I know that's going to happen. I already know that's going to happen.
Up until she was 2 years old, she ate everything. Yeah. She did. Indian food, Chinese food, Korean food. Give her anything, she ate it.
Yeah.
Suddenly something changed overnight when she turned 2, and it just all went away.
Okay.
However, I'm happy to report that even though she only wants a plain mac and cheese, she eats a whole bag of Bombay spice chips.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
I love that. Yeah. You got to give me some tips on how to guide her. She's like 8 months now, and we just started solids and just trying. Yeah. She does not like avocado, that's for sure.
All right.
But she does like the pumpkin. She likes pumpkin, and we're getting there. And we
it.
Definitely need to get there soon, because formula ain't cheap, and she's going like 7 ounces a bottle now, like 5 times a day. We're like, girl, we need to get you on some food ASAP.
Wait till she discovers like berries.
Oh yeah.
Like, I had to take out a loan to keep up with my daughter's berry habit. She's going through 2 clamshells a day.
Wow.
And, like during COVID, those things are not cheap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. So talking about the food that serves the home, again, I'm going back to that quote. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel a leaning towards a responsibility to represent Indian food?
No, I really don't. I really just go by what I like to eat, right? I like this flavor. I like that flavor. I like Old Bay spice. I like the garam masala. I like all of it. And I feel I'm a very instinctual person, right? Go by instincts a lot. And when I'm cooking, that's what I rely on heavily. So I just go by that. There is no, because you don't, there's no Indian or American, and there's none of that. It's just food that people like.
There's no Indian, there's American. It's just food.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. So going into, you're running a business, took 3 years to get to that point, and, commercial cooking is vastly different than, I don't even really call it cooking. It's a science, and it takes a long time to get there.
Correct.
Like my chili crunch does not look anything like the chili crunch that I started with.
Exactly.
And I think it's the biggest thing is, for me, it's married to the flavor, not necessarily married to the ingredients, because it's like, oh, I can't get this anymore, or, oh, this supplier shut down, I have to go that way.
Pivot.
So how do you have, you're kind of straddling both sides of being an actual chef and also a business owner. How do you keep that chef side intact while running this type of business?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. To me, flavor is king, right? It has to taste good. How we get there might change every now and then, but there are certain principles that we live by, right? It has to be a clean label. It has to be the quality spices I know I can get, and it has to taste really good. As long as we try to kind of keep with our North Star of those 2 or 3 elements, you can't go wrong.
It reminds me a little bit of Jing Zhao with Fly by Jing and her commitment to China and sourcing directly from Chinese farmers and Chinese ingredients.
Yeah.
She doesn't budge on that. She doesn't judge on the process. She doesn't budge on the ingredients. It is a real representation of where her ingredients come from.
Yeah.
So is there one thing that you will absolutely not budge on when it comes to your chips?
Yeah, I think it'll be the quality of the food. Some of the spices that are in the chips right now are not grown here. So I get them from India. Second main reason, any Indian food I've had in America has been watered down, whitewashed, made with poorer quality spices. And that's the whole reason we're taking the pains to go to India, source the best stuff, and bring it back here, because that's what people deserve. They don't deserve the fiber-filled, preservative-laced chili powder. Like, they deserve the good stuff. And I know where the good stuff is because I grew up eating it. So it's not, I'm very consumer driven. Like, to me, what I would feed my daughter is what I want to feed my consumer. That's as simple as that.
Do you still cook a lot?
I do. Yeah. Cooking is my therapy. Time is a problem these days, but when I can, I absolutely do. Yeah.
What's your sort of I'm not cooking tonight meal? Like, what's your go-to? No one's in the house cooking. No one's gonna be cooking.
Yeah.
I'm getting. What are you getting?
Well, nobody cooks in my house anyway.
Yeah.
So it's only, if I want to eat a home cooked meal, I have to make it.
Yeah.
What am I getting? Do you mean in Richmond or in general?
Just in Richmond, yeah.
In Richmond, oh man, we love. There's a little Indian restaurant called Honest. It's an Indian vegetarian restaurant.
Okay.
We order food from there all the time, because it just reminds me of a particular regional hometown dish. We're also big into pizza. We love our pizza bones and 8.5 and Zorch. But yeah, just comfort stuff. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, I mean, after, kind of opening up this place and running Sajang at the same time and working full time, one of my therapy is cooking, and sadly I haven't been able to cook since my daughter was born, and just doing all this all together. But I really love cooking. It just puts me in that Zen space, because for me, cooking it is a science, but I'm more of a creative in terms of if you ask me how much to put in something, that's why my mother-in-law, I drive her crazy, because she's like, what's the recipe? I'm like, it's a little bit of salt, and she's like, okay, so how much? I'm like, I don't know, until you taste. It tastes like how you taste, So I hear you on the therapy part, like
Yeah.
from everything, smoking, from cooking in the oven, on the skillet, breakfast, lunch, dinners. I love cooking, and I hope to get back to it soon once things kind of calm down.
Yeah, I love that for you. But
yeah.
but spoiler alert, it's not gonna come down.
No, it's not. I know. I just have to. This is gonna be crazy.
These daughters are not easy to raise.
Yeah.
You're gonna. It's like I always say, parenting is like playing a intense video game, and the second you master one level, you go to the second level, which is even more hard, which is even harder, and you just like keep going. So it doesn't get any easier, but maybe you get better around it. You know? Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is like don't cling. I've noticed that because we're like, okay, we finally got the nap schedule down, and it's so like next week it's like, oh, actually now she screams at the top of her lungs when you try to do that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, I can, this is how she goes to sleep. You just got to hold her, and now she hates that. So it's like, now I think that's the biggest thing is just, kind of, it's almost like gauging, like, okay, why are you crying? Like you're looking at her like, are you hot? Are you hungry? And you don't really like react to it, but you just know it's probably one of those things. Or maybe she's just bored.
Yeah, you never know.
But she has no chill. So I don't know if it's just a female thing, but all of my friends.
Excuse me?
All of my friends. Well, I'm saying like female daughters. It's like all of my friends with boys. They will fall asleep anywhere. They're super chill. They can hang out and like, hey, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
But my daughter and every other girl that I know that is that age, zero chill. Like,
and it's a girl's prerogative.
Yeah,
to give
it's
you a
like
hard
zero
time.
chill.
It's
like there is no like if you're with her, you are with her. You better be paying attention to her.
Yes.
If you put her down for 2 seconds,
how
like
dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Or if you do, you better be right next to her. Like she's almost like a cat. Like. She's okay, but she needs you close.
Oh
but don't touch me too much. But like be close a little bit.
Yes,
it's
right. What
so
is that hard?
What do you
mean?
Yeah. It's like what are you doing?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I love it.
To give you a quick example, like there's a cheese stick that we used to put in our daughter's snack every day, right? And last week she comes home, she's like, I don't like this cheese stick. I'm like, what? You've been eating it for 3 years.
Yeah.
This is garbage. I'm like, okay. So like suddenly,
I love that.
Like, but we just bought a big pack from Costco. So now I'm like, I guess I'm eating cheese sticks.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I love that.
You just never know.
I'm glad to know it doesn't change because
no.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, same.
It's like she's the ruler of the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So winding down a little bit here, a couple final questions. Was there ever a moment that you had where you just wanted to walk away from doing the chips or anything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I have those moments once a month. But no, there've been I had a lot of setbacks, right? And one of the biggest ones was losing my son. And the company is built in his name. And it's very hard, and this is just me, TMI, I guess, but to see his name all the time and to keep living that memory all the time is very hard for me. So there are absolutely moments where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. It's too much. But you don't get that option as a parent. Yeah.
So when things kind of like when you're shutting down for the night or kind of having a free moment, like what's the ambition and the drive to keep going, to keep it going?
I mean, it's my kids, right? I built the company in my son's name, but I want to make it a success for my daughter. Her hand is in the back of the bag. I owe them my best foot forward at all times. They deserve a happy mom. They deserve a mom who can accomplish something for them. My daughter deserves a role model who can show up and show her what she can do in this world and how she can show up in this world. I take that very seriously. And then, there are people who really believe in me for some reason, my stakeholders, my immediate group around me, my investors. And I want to constantly make sure I'm living up to their expectations of who they think I am. And lastly, we make a really good product. It's made with a lot of love. There's so much family and love on the packaging, on the bag, inside of it, outside of it, around it. And I just want to do right by all of that, Well,
that was beautifully said. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate your time. And it's been a blast just like watching your trajectory and being a little bit part of your story going forward. Thank you for coming in today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. So fun. Thanks for having me.